The top 10 most developed cities in Africa. Africa has always been regarded as a continent with black color. It is widely regarded as being the continent that has the richest mineral resources. This is the reason why the most exporting countries are in Africa. On the other hand, Africa harbors very poor and underdeveloped areas which are largely ignored by the poverty-stricken residents struggling to feed themselves and survive. Africa isn't necessarily considered a developed continent. However, with the recent advancement that has taken place in African countries, there are many advanced cities across Africa in which technology is an integral part of the people's everyday life. African cities are now catching up on the list of most rapidly developing cities around the globe. While there is a lot of work still needed in certain areas of Africa, the continent is home to some of the best developed cities around the globe. Abidjan, the capital city of Ivory Coast, is the most developed city in Africa. However, this video is intended to highlight the beauty of some of the many lovely cities in Africa. From the stunning skylines in Abidjan to the tranquil suburb in Dar es Salaam, the scenario in Nairobi to the bustling streets in Lagos. Which is the best capital city in Africa? According to Knight Frank's African Horizon Report 2021-2022, Nairobi, the capital city of Kenya, is the best city in Africa. Cities like Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Dakar, some of Africa's most developed cities, are economically significant for the continent and the rest of the world. They serve as financial, fashion, commercial, and educational hubs. These are global centers of activities where people from all over the world come to discuss ideas, trade goods and services, and engage in leisure activities. 1. Cape Town, South Africa. South Africa's Cape Town is a city of breathtaking natural beauty and undeniable architectural brilliance. This city has evolved into something extraordinary. A collection of stunning, tall, contemporary structures are in downtown Cape Town. When viewed from above, it almost looks like New York. Colonial masters play a major role in the development of rich European history. It has one of the best infrastructure in the world, with a superb fusion of architecture and technology. The Cape Town Stadium is among the most spectacular stadiums in the world. Cape Town has been recognized as one of the top destinations to visit anywhere in the world. The city has a rich European heritage and was built by colonial rulers. Cape Town's infrastructure is well developed and unrivaled in Africa, and it ranks among the best anywhere in the world. Cape Town is undoubtedly one of the most developed cities in Africa. 2. Port Louis, Mauritius. One of the most developed cities in Africa is Port Louis, located in Mauritius. Keep in mind that Mauritius is an island nation that welcomes visitors from all around the world. The city of Port Louis is incredibly well developed and has a long and magnificent history. Port Louis offers stunning architecture that honors the nation's colonial past and the city's significance in the modern world. The Juma Mosque, St. James Cathedral, and the Indian Tamil Temple are a few of the city's other noteworthy landmarks. 3. Abidjan. Ivory Coast capital, Abidjan, is a hub for international trade and investment. Abidjan ranks as one of the most developed cities in Africa because of its beautiful skylines and touristic attractions. One of the most significant French-speaking cities in Africa is Abidjan, which was once a major trading center for the continent. The main core of Abidjan is a convergence of skyscrapers. The waterways that ascend to the port face the city center. The port, which is of considerable significance, transports goods and services from Abidjan to the rest of the world. Abidjan is the capital city of Ivory Coast. Furthermore, it is the main point of interest for investment in trade within the country. Despite the civil war that has been fought throughout the country, it is the most developed cities in Africa, with stunning landscapes and tourist destinations. It is the biggest exporter and producer of cocoa. It's also fourth among the world's top exporters of general goods, following South Africa, Nigeria, and Angola. Abidjan, through time, has also remained at the top of the list of most beautiful and well-developed cities in Africa due to its infrastructure. 4. Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Tanzania's capital is also one of the most developed cities, which will probably surprise many people. Dar es Salaam, however, has experienced significant growth over the past few years. Beautiful Dar es Salaam is situated around a body of water. one of the unique port towns where one can exit a skyscraper and then takes a boat to another area of the city to attend a conference in another skyscraper is this one. Large hotels and stunning commercial structures line the city's main thoroughfare. The city's transportation system is efficient. You can take a bus, taxi, or travel by boat. Dar es Salaam is not only a city located in Tanzania, but it is also one which truly represents the significance of its name, Abode of Peace, because it is regarded as the most tranquil town in Africa. In addition to being peaceful, thriving, and well-developed, it also happens to be the former capital city of Tanzania before being located to Dodoma in 1996. Dar es Salaam is also the biggest city in Tanzania, with shoppers in the Kariakoo market, which is among the biggest and most crowded markets in East Africa. If you are a first-timer seeking places to visit or activities to enjoy around the city, the Bogollo Island, Budia Island, National Museum of Tanzania, Askari Monument, and Coco Beach are great places to begin. 5. Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Ethiopia is one of the most historically significant nations on the continent. It is an old, culturally rich nation. Addis Ababa's infrastructure and towering buildings complement the city's role as the most developed city. Addis Ababa is the home to the African Union headquarters. Because of its historical, diplomatic, and political importance to the continent, the city is known as the political capital of Africa. The impressive infrastructure and buildings in Addis Ababa complement the city due to its status as the capital and the largest city of Ethiopia. It is a place where you can meet amazing people with numerous activities to keep you engaged, such as the National Museum of Ethiopia, Mount Entonto, Lion Park, and many more. Addis Ababa is renowned as one of the most developed cities in Africa and the home of the African Union. It is also called the capital of politics in Africa because of its diplomatic, historical, and political importance to the continent. 6. Lagos, Nigeria. Lagos takes great pleasure in being the most populous cities in Africa and the economic center of West Africa. Lagos is one of the busiest cities on the continent and it's home to many enterprises. Lagos was considered to be the capital city of Nigeria up to December 12, 1991, at which point Abuja was declared as the brand newly created Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria. Lagos is regarded as the largest city in Africa and Nigeria, as well as the economic capital of West Africa. Lagos has numerous firms and is one of the most populated cities in the world. It is divided into mainlands and islands and is home to some of the best and busiest locations such as Lekki, Victoria Island, Ojuelegba, and several others. The city is often described as the city that never sleeps due to the popularity of its many nightlife attractions. 7. Nairobi, Kenya. Politically and economically, Nairobi is one of Africa's most significant cities. Many local businesses call it home, and it constantly ranks as one of the top tourist cities in the world. It also serves as a home to many international organizations, including the United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP, and the United Nations Office at Nairobi, which serves as the UN's main regional coordination office for Africa and the Middle East. Nairobi is a city where commerce and culture coexist. Nairobi is among the well-known cities in Africa, financially as well as politically. It's home to thousands of local enterprises. Similarly, the city is one of the top destinations for tourists from all over the world. Nairobi hosts international organizations such as the United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP. The Kenyan city is home to the principal central headquarters of the UN in Africa and the Middle East. Nairobi can be described as a city that offers a blend of culture and business. Nairobi is one of the most developed cities in Africa. 8. Tunis in Tunisia. With over 2,600,000 residents, Tunis has consistently been one of the most developed cities in Africa. The capital of Tunisia is a major hub for history, culture, trade, and tourism. This significant port city is one of the most popular tourist destinations in North Africa. Skyscrapers, massive buildings, and ancient structures that showcase traditional North African architecture make up the skyline. Tunis, with more than 2.6 million residents, is perhaps one of the largest and most organized cities in northern Africa. The prosperity and growth of the Tunisian economy over the last few years are evident in the rapid growth of the city's outer areas. Reports indicate that the social problems of the country are triggered by rapid modernization in Tunisia. Modernization led to the growth of Tunis into one of the best modern cities in Africa and also an attractive tourist destination, which has made the city among the top frequented cities in Africa. 9. Gaborone in Botswana. Southern Africa's Gaborone is a spectacular, mind-blowing and gorgeous region with a dynamic infrastructure, stable politics and thriving culture. Gaborone, the capital of Botswana, has a development that is unmatched on the continent. Gaborone is both an economic hub and a tourist hotspot, and this is the key to its quick development. Not to mention that Gaborone is one of the world's major diamond-producing countries. Gaborone is an amazing, mind-blowing and stunning region of South Africa with a dynamic infrastructure, a stable political system, as well as an incredibly rich culture. It is also one of the biggest diamond-producing countries around the globe. The city is renowned as one of the most developed cities in Africa. A single trip to Gaborone and you are addicted for the rest of your eternity. If you are thinking of going, ensure you are prepared for a permanent move to the city because you won't ever be able to live without a struggle. Also, on the positive side, there aren't diamonds in the dirt. 10. Johannesburg in South Africa. Johannesburg is one of the best and most prestigious travel destinations in South Africa. Given that Johannesburg is the wealthiest city in Africa, it should be no surprise that it is also one of the most developed. The city was established during the Witwatersrand's gold rush of 1886. Wealthy gold prospectors transformed the area into one of Africa's best and wealthiest cities. Johannesburg isn't one of the biggest cities in Africa, and it has a smaller population than Cape Town, with a population of around 1 million residents. Johannesburg is one of the most desirable and popular destinations in South Africa. Johannesburg is a flourishing city that has beautiful sights like the City Deep, which is the largest dry port in the world, and Johannesburg Apartheid Museum. So, if you are making that trip for the first time or not, this list should serve as a guide for interesting places to visit and should also change your perception of Africa. Kindly share your views about other developed cities in Africa.